Hello and welcome to Elite 50. In this video, I'm going to answer a couple of basic questions around what Elite 50 is, why Elite 50, and a couple of questions around the execution of this particular course, right? So let me begin with what exactly is Elite 50? Elite 50, in simpler terms, is a collection of 50 frameworks that every leader, every business owner, every entrepreneur, every parent, and every coach and teacher and trainer should know about. And mostly, these are two groups of frameworks that I have. One is called mental models, how people and business people think, like first principle thinking or inversion thinking, and those kind of thinking models. On the other side, we have something called the coaching frameworks. How do you coach people in the various aspects of problem solving? How do you coach people in negotiations? How do you coach people in doing conflict resolution? How do you coach people on receiving and giving feedback? How do you coach people on, you know, a lot of different aspects of leadership, right? So as a leader, when you are developing the next generation of leaders, or as a teacher or a parent, when you are teaching the next generation, you can use these coaching frameworks. So all in all, it's a collection of 50 frameworks, coaching frameworks and thinking mental models, basically how people think. So that's what it is. Now, why do I write on the line that Elite 50 is your one-stop shop for all things leadership and business? Because what it contains mostly is two groups where these things are very relevant. One is leadership, one is business. So you'll see a lot of frameworks around communication. You'll a lot of frameworks around problem solving, and you'll see about emotional intelligence, negotiation frameworks, conflict resolution frameworks, OD or organizational design frameworks are there, OB organizational behavior frameworks are there, strategic planning frameworks are there, motivation, influence, inspiring. Around those frameworks are there, decision making frameworks will be there, frameworks around delegation will be there, feedback, leading change, team building. So all these aspects of leadership will be there, or frameworks around all these aspects are included in Elite 50. So the goal is to create a holistic leader who knows how to think. Apart from these aspects of leadership, there will be frameworks which touch upon various aspects of business. For example, frameworks from lean thinking. That itself has more than 60 frameworks, right? Other aspects from business would be innovation, sales, and closing techniques. That's another 40 or 50 closing techniques and sales frameworks. Marketing is something that I want to discuss. Brand building is something that is very core to my understanding of business, entrepreneurship, design thinking, and innovation. These are various aspects of business around which we will have different frameworks as well. So that is what is included in Elite 50. So in short, it's like an MBA program, but it's not MBA, because MBA stands for Masters in Business Administration, but this one, Elite 50, is a Masters in Leadership. Yeah, I will not charge you a lakhs of rupees just like an MBA, but this is like an MBA, right? It's Masters in Leadership program. And since it's 50 frameworks, it is 50 weeks, okay? Why Elite 50? I believe that there is one aspect or one skill of leadership that's slowly getting extinct. That's slowly something leaders are forgetting about, right? And that one skill actually makes the difference between whether someone is a manager or someone is a leader. This is my personal view, but this is how I have experienced the corporate world, right? And that one aspect which I think is missing or going extinct in leaders is thinking. Thinking. Now, some people believe that thinking is a scientific process. So for them, the science of thinking, some people understand that thinking has a lot of instinct into it, a lot of gut feeling into the process also goes in. So they believe it's an art. So whether you believe it's an art of thinking or it's a science of thinking, that one aspect of thinking is something that I believe is going extinct from leadership. Now that's my experience, and that's why I thought I'll create something that helps people, or that helps this art or science of thinking get it back to the context of leadership. That's what I wanted. Because I understand the power of thinking, power of thoughts for a leader. Now, if a leader knows how to think adaptively, they will know that the only constant in the business ecosystem is change. And the rate at which change is happening today, it's unbelievable. So they know how to create an organization that is nimble on its feet, that knows how to pivot when there is new information available from the market, there is a new competition entered in the market, there is a new strategy, sorry, there is a new technology available in the market, there is a regulatory change in the market. How do you pivot? How do you be nimble on your feet as a business? That's what a leader who knows how to think adaptively brings to the table. Now, a leader who thinks creatively, they create or foster a culture of innovation where people and employees and everybody on the floor knows that mistakes are allowed, failures are okay, as long as they ensure that they have learned something from those failures, and those same mistakes, the same failures are not going to be repeated in the future. These leaders, in the process of creating or fostering a culture of innovation, also create a culture of experimentation. No one solution for one problem, multiple solutions, a host of solutions for the same problem, so that the customers, the employees, they can decide on the best suitable solution. So a culture of experimentation, a culture of innovation is something that these leaders bring to the business. Leaders who know how to think creatively. Now, leaders who know how to think critically, they understand how to analyze complex business environment, complex business scenarios. They understand how do you tweak analytical thinking, creative thinking, critical thinking into the business, right? So they bring a lot of, how do you say, analytical skills into the business. They build those analytical skills into the organization. That's what a leader who knows how to think critically brings onto the table. A leader who thinks or knows how to think decisively, they bring in confidence into the process of decision making. They bring in a lot of clarity into the process of decision making. A leader who knows how to think decisively knows that maybe directly a few hundred or a few thousand employees careers are getting impacted by a decision they make, but they also understand that indirectly their decisions are impacting or touching and transforming millions of lives all across the globe, millions of consumers, millions of customers. So they understand the process of decision making and the impact of those decisions and the consequences of those decisions. That's what a leader who knows how to think decisively brings to the table. A leader who can think empathetically, they bring in the power, the culture of listening to all the requirements, all the problems of employees, of customers, of partners, and vendors. And in the process of listening to everybody, they create a culture of openness. That's what a leader who knows how to think empathetically brings onto the table. A leader who knows how to think ethically brings the ethical business practices into the business, into your organization. They create or they teach the power of work ethic to their employees. They know that when they have to take an action, it has to keep at the center the well-being of everybody in the ecosystem, whether it's their partners, vendors, business, customers, consumers, and employees. Everybody's well-being is kept intact at the center, and that's how decision making is made, and the corporate values are at the center of that. That's how ethical thinking or ethical decision making happens. So that's what a leader who knows how to think ethically brings to the table. Then probably is a leader who knows how to think globally, how to look at opportunities beyond the state border, beyond the national border. In the international market, what are those problems that we can solve for our customers? In the international market, what are those talents we can access? What are those opportunities? What are those partnerships? What are those acquisitions and mergers we can do so that we can create a business that is truly global? They bring in diverse thinking into the system. They bring in diverse problems, diverse approach to problem solving. That's what a leader who knows how to think globally brings to the table. A leader who knows how to think inclusively brings in a lot of diversity in the system, diversity of gender, diversity of thoughts, diversity of approach to problem solving, diversity of idea generation, diversity of cultures, diversity of language, diversity of thoughts, right? So that's what a leader who knows how to think inclusively brings onto the table. A leader who can think strategically understands that it's not always about the short-term quarterly goal, quarterly profit. It's not about the balance sheet all the time. They understand that it's truly about the balance between the short-term goals and the long-term vision of the company. They know that there has to be a relationship between what is happening on a daily basis inside the company, and that has to be aligned with the long-term vision of the company. That's what a leader who knows how to think strategically brings to the table. A leader who thinks systematically, they know the interconnectedness of the problems and the solutions. They understand that problems should not be solved superficially. A problem might have a root cause somewhere else in some other department, in some other geography. So they find root cause and they create solutions that impact across the border of the business, across the different silos of the business. They bring in that systematic thinking into the business. That's what a leader who knows how to think systematically brings to the table. So all in all, why I created Elite 50 is to bring that power of thinking, bring that skill of thinking back into leadership. That's why I've created Elite 50. So that brings us to the question, how Elite 50 works, the execution. Execution is simple. Either every week you will receive one video, or every 15 days you will receive two videos together. By the end of 4 weeks, every month, you will have 4 videos released to you, where I will share 4 frameworks, right? So first month you receive 4, month 2 onwards, apart from the released videos, pre-recorded videos, we will have one live session, which is a mastermind session, where we discuss month 2 will have the first mastermind, where we will discuss all the frameworks, 4 frameworks we have covered in month 1, and any queries and concerns and clarifications around those. And if someone has experience of deploying that framework in a particular scenario, and they have understood the approach and benefits and limitations of those frameworks, they can share that, and we can learn from each other's experience in that mastermind session. That'll be from 90 minutes to 120 minutes. So the 1.5 to 2 hours of mastermind session, which will happen every month, starting month 2 onwards. So that's how it is going to be executed. Every week or every month you are getting 4 frameworks, and every month you have a mastermind session where we discuss the framework, its relevance, its application, and rules and best practices around the implementation of those frameworks, right? So that's how we are going to execute Elite 50. So that's what I wanted to share with you in this video. First, why Elite 50? Second, what is Elite 50? Third, around the execution. So that's what I wanted to share with you in this video, and a quick lesson in decision making. I understand a lot of people with authority believe that decision making or human decision making is a logical process, which is not true. It cannot be farther from the truth. If you go to Google and do a quick search for the phrase, what percent of human decision making is logical, what percent is emotional, you will understand that approximately 90 to 95% of human decision making is emotional. Only 5 to 10% is logical. Now, why I'm bringing decision making right now is because you have to make a decision whether you enroll into Elite 50 or you don't enroll into Elite 50. Either are okay for me, right? But there is an emotion involved in either of these decisions, whether you enroll or not enroll. There is an emotion involved in this decision, and that's the lesson in decision making I wanted to share. If you're feeling excited about the opportunities that you can create once you master all these 50 frameworks and you have the power of these 50 frameworks under your belt, what all will be possible? You are excited about that, right? If that is the emotion you are feeling, excitement, confidence, your decision will be you will enroll. But if you're good at creating negative scenarios in your mind, what if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? What if my money drowns? What if I cannot give time? What if this up? So if you're good at creating a lot of negative scenarios in your brain, then the emotion you will experience is fear, fear of unknown. What will happen? What if this? What if that? All the negative cases, right? So the emotion you will experience is fear of unknown. And if you are feeling that emotion, your decision will be not to enroll. So this is a quick lesson in decision making, which is most of the time emotional. And if there is a third emotion you experienced, and because of that emotion you either enrolled or did not enroll, I would love to know about that third emotion. Let me know in the comment section. Okay. So thank you for joining me. If you are enrolling, I'll see you inside, and we'll start with the first framework, which is, not all the frameworks I'm going to share with you is from pre-existing frameworks. There are my creations as well, and the program begins with one of my frameworks around entrepreneurship, right? So that's how the program begins, and we slowly go into all of these different topics of leadership and business as I have just mentioned. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video where I share this first framework with you, and I hope to see you all inside. I hope that collectively we can create a community of learning, and collectively we can create a community where people can learn from each other's journey so that their own journey becomes much more meaningful and much more impactful and inspirational. That's the goal here. I want to bring thinking back into leadership. So that's the goal. I hope to see you inside. Bye-bye.